to have little, that there's blessings of God, that you have much more, that there's no blessings of God.
But people need to see, know, and hear.
When you return that money, you hear the message.
Whatever is not yours, even if you kill yourself, it will not come. That's my opinion.
So do share the facts on Hard Fact.
Hard Fact.
Hard Fact. 3 to 6 p.m. Live on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Hard Facts. This is Hard Facts. Hard Facts.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Welcome to Hard Facts right here on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. It's 7 minutes past 3 p.m. Hope that you are having a good Tuesday so far. The 23rd day in April 2024. My name is Itodo, and it's good to be hanging out with you right here. We'll start off with some of the big stories making the rounds today. And at 4:30, the time to get into conversations with other paper. At 5, we'll move into another conversation for the day. And at 6, we'll get into the news. And after that, more conversations coming your way. And at 7, it'll be time to bid you farewell and goodbye. So we are going to have a good time as always, right here on Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. But hope you've had a good time so far, from the morning crossfire to what's happening in Abuja, the sunny side. And at 7 o'clock, I'll hand over to the Football Frenzy team, who will be here to give you all the sports update that you need all the way till 10 o'clock. So, hey, get ready. Stay hydrated. It's sunny out there today. Stay away from the sun if you can. Have an umbrella. Wear some sunscreen. And just keep yourself safe. But right now, let's get into some of the big stories making the rounds. And we'll start off with the power of social media and how it's able to bring or give justice to those who have been craving for it for the longest. There's this supermarket where it was said that Nigerians are not allowed to go in and, shop. So following the report, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has gone on to seal the said supermarket. Now, they visited the premises on Monday. The commission's officials, led by the Director of Surveillance and Investigation, Boladele Adeyinka, said the mission of the commission was in response to the viral video when Nigerians were allegedly being discriminated against and denied access to the supermarket. Now, the owner of the said supermarket has also been summoned. This was as workers at the store disclosed that the owner of this supermarket fled the premises. And the Abuja supermarket is not the only business barring or discriminating against Nigerians. There have been reports about an Indian school in Lagos who only admits Indians, and you need to have a passport for enrollment, or a parent who is from that part of the world. And it just brings to mind the question and concern, if you've ever had to go through an issue like this. You go to a restaurant or maybe a supermarket, for instance, and you're not allowed to either get entry to it because you do not look a certain way. I know people have complained over time about being denied entry into certain spaces because their car looked funny, or they did not have a specific brand or year that they were driving. So they were turned around or told to park at a different spot, or told to park outside, or just denied entry outrightly. So this is bringing to mind the conversation and to our consciousness that it's important to treat everyone equally, regardless of who they are or where they are from. By the way, we're streaming live right now on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja, so you can go on there to catch the show, watch live, and be a part of the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube and Facebook platforms at Nigeria Info Abuja. So back to what we're talking about. Have you ever been discriminated against? Been told to turn around? How did you handle yourself? Did you have to maybe scream and shout like some people would, or you just turned around and there was no cause for alarm? There was no need to bring any attention to yourself having been disgraced or treated wrongly. Now, the Commission gave the directive on Monday following discreet investigations as the FCCPC and inquiries from complaints by Nigerians alleging discriminatory practices by the supermarket. So they've gone on to seal the supermarket for barring and only restricting entry to certain nationals. Now, some people also brought up the conversation or the argument that why would the Nigerian want to go buy something they know no idea about, or something they cannot read? Well, they're Nigerians who speak the language, who are able to understand it, who enjoy the food or enjoy the products from that part of the country. So why would you think it is wrong for a Nigerian to want to patronize, just like everyone should be allowed the opportunity to patronize or buy things from anywhere in the country, as long as they can afford it. All right, something else that social media also put before us was the case of bullying. And it's a conversation that we always need to have. Adults also get bullied. I know some people say bullying helps in character development, but really, does it? Or does it make you timid? Does it make you fear for your life? Does it make you act a certain way? Does it make you become a bully as well? Because you just see being treated in that light or that way as normal, and then you go on to treat other people the same way. But the ongoing drama at the school has taken a new dimension on Tuesday when a parent slapped the student involved in the video, which had gone viral earlier this week. Now, the parents who were summoned and had to go to school, saying that the video made the rounds. Another video also came out about with a young man, with boys, a young man being bullied by his peers. And it is worrisome how children who are put into these schools to be taught good manners in the sense of it, discipline and the likes, depending on what the motto of the school, the focus of the school is, besides just education, how they are treated. And for fear of anything wrong happening to them, they are unable to complain to their parents, or maybe when they report to the school authority, nothing is done about it. It's just swept under the carpet and everyone just goes on business as usual. But, you know, a parent slapping her child's bully, I mean, many have frowned upon that. She could have been able to handle herself better. Or was it the right course of action to take because emotions were everywhere and she just felt it was the right thing to do, to somewhat fight for her child and teach the bully that you can do better. Don't hit anyone if you cannot handle being hit yourself. Let's get some reactions to this. 0700 951 0000, 08095974869, and 08099930137. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 08099930137. That's also the WhatsApp number to send a message to. Include your name and your location when you do that, when you call in to react to any of the stories that we are talking about so far on Hard Facts. All right, let's move on to another conversation right here. And this has to do with the IGP, who has said that Nigeria is not mature enough for state police. How do you know Nigeria is mature for anything? Because we see certain policies come through, and there's always the argument that, oh, Nigeria is not ready yet. But we'll get into that, into details in a bit. Let's take this. Hello. Oh, sorry about that. If you can do to call back, all right? Okay, so here's how things are playing out. The president says the state police is a potential milestone. The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, is also in support of this happening. And the belief is that state police without tackling corruption will be a waste of everyone's time. There's also the concern being raised by traditional rulers who are feeling the heat of insecurity, as pointed out by the Oni of Ife, and lawmakers who are neutral, and the speaker, who says that, or who clarifies, rather, that he wants policing free from the shackles of politics or tribalism. So all hopes of a speedy reorganization of the security architecture of the country were dampened as the IGP, Kaide Egbeto said Nigeria is not mature to operate state governments controlled police despite the myriad of security challenges facing it. Now, he said that there should be a merger between the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Commission, NSCDC, as departments under the federal police. Now, the opposition to the idea of state police, he urged the lawmakers to properly fund the existing federal policing structure, and that most police barracks were built years ago in the colonial period have not undergone any renovations despite the increase in the strength of the police, and these have impacted negatively on the performance of the personnel. There's always been this call to action in terms of the well-being and the living conditions of our security agencies, policemen, in this regard. Now, he went on to also put forward the argument that governors could use the police force under their control for political or personal gain and undermine human rights and security. There would also be a conflict of jurisdiction. Some would also point out the situation about governors using their power or their seat to save those who have been accused or who have been called forward to answer for alleged crimes as committed by them. Now, he also put forward the position that it's against the publicly expressed stance of the president, and the president in February met with governors in Abuja, during which they considered the possibility of setting up the state police. And many just thought by now we would have reached a point wherein we'll be setting what next steps to take regarding state police and improving the security situation of the country. Now, the police chief's position notwithstanding, the president declared that the idea of state police is not just a mere policy proposal, but a potential milestone in the evolution of Nigeria's law enforcement framework that would create the opportunity to fashion law enforcement in a manner that addresses the various demands of communities across the country. And the president also disclosed that it was important to resolve and to reform the Nigerian police force and enhance security across Nigeria, noting that this administration is much aware of the complex security issues confronting Nigeria, and as such, continually developing and refining its strategies and methods to address the challenges effectively. So, do you feel like these issues or concerns raised by the IGP are valid and that Nigeria is not mature enough? One would say, well, there is a constitutional review ongoing and laws can be put in place wherein governors do not, because of the fear being raised, take advantage of this and abuse whatever powers they get from the implementation of state police across Nigeria. Well, let's take some reactions on WhatsApp as well as some phone calls before we go on this break. Oludade Abiodun says, I'm very much with the IGP because Nigerian politicians are not mature at all. They will surely use state police to intimidate their opponents. On the merger, I disagree with him because other agencies are also needed, is what he says. And Femi says, it shouldn't be a thing, it shouldn't be until a life is lost in that school before there will be order. The students all need to learn from home, and the school too need to have a structure in place to check all forms of unpleasant behaviors. The behavior of the person making the video and any other student there that did not report the case should also be seen as guilty themselves. All right. Let's get to you now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, welcome. How are you?
Yes, my name is Gail Covenant.
Welcome, Covenant. Please go ahead.
Yes. Can you remember once that like a certain Ebubago in the southeast?
Mm-hmm.
Was it 3 or 2 years ago? That was instituted by the state government, backed by the federal government, by the Buhari-led government. Can you remember?
Yes.
Ebubago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, fine. Now, if you go to Ebonyi State and take an examination of what happened within that time, where the former governor was ruling the state, you understand why state police must be discouraged. Even if it doesn't happen in any other district, but you see Southeast governors will manipulate the whole thing and use it to their own advantage. Like, it will not be like the state police will not operate on the fact that he was a kind of federal government backed, and they will not actualize the aim on which they were set up. State governors, they will use it to their advantage, and honestly, I discourage it. Let's manage this one we are managing. If they want to improve the life of police officers, fine and good. They should increase their salary and they kind of motivate them. That motivation is very, very important, and decrease a kind of corruption within the business cycle, within the system. Sorry,
but Covenant. Hold on. Sir. Let me ask you this: how about a Moteco in the southwest? And if there are laws in place that would discourage any abuse of the sort which is being raised as a concern, don't you think that would be able to handle the worries or the challenges that might come up?
Okay, now you mentioned Amotekum. Like I do mention Southeast now, and I said even if other regions will not, other governors will not take it to their advantage, but you see Southeast, they will take the state police to their own advantage against the people and against their opponents. Other regions may be lenient and may be conscious of their action, but you see Southeast, Amotekum has been in operation, and the operations have been very, very good and commendable. But you see this Ebubado. In fact, let me not say, just go to Southeast and ask them, Ebonyi State particularly. Let me not talk. Bye-bye, sir.
All right, Governor. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and concerns right there. The WhatsApp number you can send a message to is 080-999-30137. This is a roundtable. We're going through big stories making the rounds in Nigeria today, and you can call in or send a message to be a part of it. We're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook. Good afternoon, Ozo Francis Ndamani from Amangunze in Enugu State. Before the adoption of state police, the mode of operation and their mandates should be articulated and legislated to avoid excesses, is what Ozo Francis says. And he goes on to say, may God help us. Good afternoon, Damshak Lot. And Henry Ewunonu says, is it that leadership doesn't have a plan on how to secure Nigeria, or have they become so encumbered by the existing as well as emerging threats? That's a question that Henry is asking at this time. All right, we'll go on the break. When we come back, get more of your reactions.
Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is 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 Nigeria Info.
People in their city as well that reported a case of bullying, and videos have been making the rounds, and the authorities are following up on that and trying to sort out the issue and take necessary actions to get justice for the children who have been bullied over the years. Let's get to you right now, shall we? Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Colin from Nasarawa State.
Welcome, Collins. Go ahead, please.
The issue of state police. I don't know why people are educated. It is neither here nor there. Everything that has advantage has some disadvantage. The culture we should be asking ourselves, even with the present police culture we have, at state level, are the governor not abusing those rights they have with those police? And they're not using the same federal police to harass opponents in their state? Thank God you mentioned the issue of Amotekun in Southwest. It has been very, very successful. So if this is introduced in other regions, nobody can just wake up and say it's not going to work. That could have been to be pessimistic. So if we have got to this level in terms of security and the rest, and you remember at a point during IDB regime, what IDB did was to be posting police to their respective state of origin. I can't remember that particular year. So if you are in Kogi, they will post you to Kogi. So they believe that the local people are better police themselves. They know the terrain. So for me, let us encourage this issue as if the government is looking at this direction. So with citizens that we need protection, we should not discourage it. Let's have it first. So let's test it. If it will work, if it will not work, then all of us we are going to, okay, this is no longer work. We can now try another way of solving the problem. But since this thing is working effectively in Southwest, and if the Amateku people can be more empowered, and I'm very happy with the position of former President, Governor, former President Ebele Jonathan. God bless him. He's a patriotic Nigeria. He's a true Nigerian. He was saying that some people say even when you have this state police, you should not equip them with sophisticated weapons. The question is, man was asking that, so if you put these police people, if you give them gold, that means you have signed their death warrant in the first place. So if the other people in the other than the criminal is carrying AK-1, then the least the state police should carry should be AK-2. That's what the man was saying. And I think I agree with him in total. The only person that does not agree with this thing was probably the idea of police that was saying they should match road safety, and the road safety is not carrying out. So what value we imagine of road safety federal?
No, but you know, over the years they've been making the request to be allowed to carry arms, and people have shared the worry that if that were to happen, there could be a lot of casualties and a lot of issues with that.
Bro, the road safety are doing wonderfully well in terms of road safety, accident victim management. Kudos to them. So they should allow them to concentrate on their primary mandate. The civil defense are doing well with the protection of national assets. Let them do whatever they are. You remember this same road safety and police has been managed before. We are living witness. It doesn't work. At that time, if you remember, if you carry driver license, the driver license will be showing road safety logo and police logo. So for me, that will not solve the problem, security problem.
All right, Collins.
Yes, I agree that we should have a state police across board.
All right.
Regional or state by state. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome.
The Agaba Itodo one.
Yes, good afternoon.
The man in the afternoon show. I greet you. My name is Salasi.
Welcome. Please go ahead.
I concur with the last caller in the aspect of supporting the state policing. Yeah, somebody give reason of what happened in Ebonyi. But haven't we achieved things in the Southwest? We will watch news every day. We see the successes of Amateku. Now we are talking of, I wonder why, this is the president is in support of the state police. And the same IG that they are in same government, I think they're supposed to have the same mind with the president. He's opposing the state police. I don't know. Why is he opposing the state policing? And some people will say, the state government won't have money to pay. Since this government came into power, since the day they said subsidy was gone, their federal allocation will increase. The state that are collecting 2 billion started collecting about 10 billions. The state that we are collecting 1.something billion, we are collecting 8.something billion. Most especially the Niger Delta with the 13% derivation and with the huge amount of money being collected. Look at the allocation getting from the federal allocation. And besides, what are they doing with even the security vote? With all this, they can be able to kind of support the state police. I don't think they should try it first and see if they see we copy American government. Why is the American government have state police, federal police, and the local police? So we are in it. This insecurity is so alarming. We are in support of this state policing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, wouldn't it be worrisome if nobody went against the request and everybody was just in support of state police? Because some of the things that he's brought as arguments is the fact that welfare is very important. And if state police were to be a thing eventually, the same vicious circle will continue. So in his argument, he mentions that it's important to deal with this situations, these challenges first, put everything in place, and then eventually introduce it if it's the right time. Hopefully at the time, Nigeria will be mature, because right now he feels like it's not a good time and things could go south if eventually it gets implemented. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Itodo.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you very much. Itodo, before now, they used to tell us that the wisdom of the old men or the elderly people are in the gray hair.
What's your name, sir?
The idea of
Before you go on, what's your name?
My name is Chris. I'm calling from Abuki.
Welcome, Chris. Go ahead.
Yes, before now, they said the wisdom of the old man is in the gray hair. But this idea of police has led me to think otherwise. So, let's say, the thing I didn't want to change the narrative. You understand? The previous or the former president and other people, including the current president, they have really thought it wise. You understand? That this is the way to go. This is the way to go. I'm telling you, I am from that community in the local government area of Abia State. Over 55 years of my life, I have never seen any police station, no police post in my village. Although we have almost 0% crime rate. Apart from all this one, you just see people, all those some hungry people who cut your pineapple or cut your banana. Those are for all this kind of violent crime. It's not in my community. We don't have up to tomorrow. There is nothing like police station. You know, but the way things are happening, the way crime is expanding, nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. They may even get to my own community. Hence, there is need for police presence in my community this time around. Do you understand? Now, having this issue of state police, it means that when this is finally approved, it means that there will be police presence even in my community. Do you understand? The former or the current IG, from the way he spoke, I think what I can deduce is that the man actually needs more, maybe he needs more budget for more funding for his own police, because they are asking us safety and the BRO, to join police, you have more and more people.
There's also the concern for manpower, Chris. So more people to be able to cover the amount of Nigerians.
You get more people, manpower without equipment. The one that ground, you have not been able to do it from federal level.
Mm.
We are talking about how we establish state police. State have enormous resources to take care of state police.
All right, Chris.
But to the hand, federal police here is not working.
All right, Chris.
So anybody that is supporting this thing to continue like this is just a myopic view.
All right, Chris. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome. Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Thank you so much. We've missed you on radio. This is Kobe calling you from Canada.
Welcome, Kobe. Well, Kobe, I'm on the morning show these days. That's why you haven't heard from me in the afternoon in a while.
Aha.
Yes.
I'm still sleeping by that time. So
You
it's
are indeed.
this show that I wake up to.
All right. Good to hear from you.
Nice. Good to hear from you. Dikin Itodo, the state police matter. In fact, the points I'm hearing is a bit appalling to me individually. I would say this because why are we talking about, we know the current situation of things. There is pervasive insecurity from faceless people, right? Then something that we curb this insecurity, we are saying we don't want to implement it because it will be abused by faced people who we have faces and names. We can control what is being abused. We cannot control this current insecurity. Why are we not talking about implementing it and then, putting laws in place and then implementing it? Since we know that the people who are likely to abuse it are people who are under the law. How do you control it now that it's not in place, that is being taken advantage by people who you don't know, you don't trace, you cannot put a
So
face to?
there's also that argument, Kobe, let me bring something in here. Maybe you can share some thought on it. There's that argument that if laws are to be put in place to better manage the state police situation, those who have immunity would find a way to go around it because they might be covered by their immunity and nothing can happen to them until they're out of power.
Thank you very much, Mr. Itodo. Now, this is why putting laws in place is a holistic approach. If we say we want to do state police, then we also need to start to contemplate this immunity for governors. Hasn't it been abused? Is it not time to limit immunity to certain threshold? And then once you do above this threshold, your immunity doesn't cover. Maybe for petty things, maybe for financial crimes, we can say, okay, there's immunity. But when it comes to human rights and human, mismanagement of the state police, no immunity. This is why lawmaking is holistic and deliberate. We're not bringing all these issues. Immunity must not be something that cannot be taken away.
All right.
It was put there by human beings. It can be taken away. I don't know any other country where governors enjoy immunity like this. And then it's in a corruption-ravaged country that we now have immunity clause. You understand? Look at what Itodo did the other day, allegedly. These are things we need to rediscuss. This is where I believe that these lawmakers that are being paid heavily should put on their thinking cap.
All right, Kobe.
Paying you for recycling processes that are not working. If the elite don't trust themselves, it shows you, it tells you something. Then I now hear masses who are the victims also agreeing with this elite. When we are the victims, we don't have police that are guiding us. We are not agreeing, we don't want state police. Where have you seen this not happen? There's county police everywhere. There's city police. There's provincial police everywhere in the world where things are better.
All right, Kobe. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. I have to let you go now. All right. Have a good one. Okay. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
I'm John by name.
Welcome, John. Please go ahead.
Yes, the last caller made mention of what the present governor did. Sorry to say, it's not our discussion. I was in zone 4 that day when he came. You know, a call came in to him. You know that from Kobe State to Abuja, Federal Capital, it's not up to 3 hours. We were all there when he came with his talks, all the talks from we are working with in Kobe State.
No, but why are you referring to them as thugs? Are they not employed by the state government, if that's who you're referring to?
No. These are thugs. These are thugs that work for the former governor. Everybody knows how thugs work for him in Kobe State. I was born and brought up there. Nobody should tell me anything about Kobe State. I should be the one telling people about Kobe State. All the thugs, the call came in to him because he was in that house in the fort there.
Okay.
But I left, nobody knows. All the FCC members, they were ashamed. That's why they left.
But were you also in that premises, or this is something that you heard?
I was in the premises. They were all watching. Because the call came, it was inside when the AFCC came.
Mm.
And case called because the phone of the former governor was in the government house in Lokoda. So it was already traced. So the ADC told the former governor, because his own phone they were using to trace the former governor. He did not know that he was in the house in Joko. So when they came, so the former governor, the present governor came all the way from Kogi State to Joko. How he came in, he was not allowed to enter the gate, but they allowed him to enter. And when he was going out again, after some hours, that's why the former governor followed him.
All right, so just so we don't go around in circles with this, do you want to react to any of the stories that was? Do you want to tie this to any of it?
Who are they working for? Are they working for the state or for federal government? Because even the police people, who are they working for? The police people, are they working? Is it that they have state police or federal police for now? Because the police that came with the present governor, the present governor now, are they working for the state or for federal government? Because there should be notice to all police that EFC members want to work, they want to operate today. They want to operate today. So if EFC came to that house in the force, why should police keep guiding or guiding the former governor? That EFC cannot arrest the former governor.
All right, John.
The governor, until the present governor came and taken away. That's my question.
All right, John.
I'm not working hand to hand or what?
All right, John, thank you for sharing your thoughts and your concerns on that. Let's go to Facebook and YouTube and check some of your comments. Okay. Darius Ayok Joshua, thank you for joining the Facebook Live. And Delix Alex says, in Nigeria today, no institution, no politician has not abused even the federal government. And Pius Quadro says, appetite still persists while we sit and watch. We are second-class citizens right here, is a thought that Pius is sharing. And St. Patrick says, the bullying in some private schools across Nigeria is becoming too much. Heads of these private schools must see to it that it stops. Paying high fees and not looking at the welfare of the students is bad, is what St. Patrick says. Adu Barnabas, good afternoon. Let's go on to WhatsApp. State police has been proposed by the Nigerian government is a laudable idea, but it's very difficult to effectively implement under the current crop of politicians in Nigeria who behave like demigods. I suggest a constitutional role of traditional rulers should be given topmost priority as a custodian of the locality, and also federal police should be restructured, reorganized, and retrained, and giving all necessary supports required for effective policing. More so, issues of inequality must be addressed holistically because an unjust society cannot experience peace, and without peace, there won't be development. May God help our leaders do what is right, is what Kashim Issa Adaji in Maraba says. And Yahaya, the head boy, says, even right now, some of our leaders are taking advantage of federal police, so I align myself with others that NSCDC and road safety should serve as pioneers of the state police because they are there's a better time for the state police than now. Is that what you meant to say? Yahaya? Can you resend that message so we understand the last part of that message that you sent in, all right? State police remains the best for trapping down the criminals and bandits nationwide. Some people might go against it for some reasons, but its advantage is more than 80% compared to any cited disadvantage, is what Ezemats in Karamu says. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. This is Zabin on the line.
Go ahead, Zabin.
Yeah, thank you, my dear brother. You see, what surprises me, this morning is when I heard IG, telling us that we are not matured enough to have state policing. No, no, such a word it shouldn't have been. Imagine a nation of how many years away after independence. There's nothing we never matured about. Rather, there should be modality of we know that it is abusable. The state governors can hijack. Even as at now, when they're doing state policing, they still have upper hand in doing. But we need state policing. Yes, it's part of reform. Yes, we know there may be mistakes inside, but when we make mistakes, we record ourselves. We need it. Part of reform. Anybody that is against it is backing us backward. But where I have issue is, we have some former leaders calling for it, and they are all former leaders. While they were there before, because what they're saying now is weak. It may not happen. When a leader do something with their mind, do it. Not it's time for you to be wishing that may not materialize. We need it as urgent as. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Itodo.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Omotayo, reaching from Galadimawa this afternoon.
Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Itodo,
yes.
All protocols duly observed. I, for the first time, would want to stand against the point my elder brother and colleague, Salasti, stood for. You see, this issue of state policing, Itodo, I want my elder brother, Salasti, to listen. I'm actually not against him anyway, but I want to explain better so that he will understand. You see, not that state policing is not a good idea right now, not that the state policing is not one of the best ways to tackle insecurity in regions, in states right now. But the problem is, if the governors who are going to be commanding these securities in their different states are still these same governors who get into office and are only about themselves alone. They are only about what they are going to siphon in office and then tomorrow begin to hide under another governor to protect them. If it is those kind of same governors, you are still handling the state police too. Of course, you should not be expecting any better results because a lioness can never give back to a snake.
So what kind of governors should the state police be handed over to in this argument that you've raised so far? Yes.
These people are not credible enough to handle state. Look, when you talk about state policing, it is put in the right hand. People who are honest, people who are loyal, people who came into office without any wuru-wuru during their election, without any corner, people who are straight to the tax. They are up to the tax. They are not there for themselves but for the people. Of course, those kind of people will handle this policing properly with justice. In fact, look, let me tell you, so one of the things they will first look out for when this law is passed is the welfare of their policing bodies in their state. Because look, without addressing the welfare and the welfare package and the salary and take home of these policemen, I tell you, no difference will be. Look, you will just be employing advantaged people into offices. People who are there to, okay, now it's our turn. Let's road block and collect what we can collect. Because they have children, they have wives, they have responsibilities. If you are paying them this same peanuts that the policing body is paying them currently, with all the money this police collect, only the IGPs, only the IGs, you see them building good houses and driving in good cars. But their subordinates, their lower cadres are suffering. Look, let me tell you, sir, a lot of them, when they even retire from office, you will pity them, sir. That is how bad these policing bodies are. If you don't address their welfare,
all right, Matayo.
It will just be we going around the same circle over and over again.
All right, Matayo.
That is just the thing. We need people with integrity to be in office first before we can hand over state policing to them.
All right.
We can trust them that they will do justice to it. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome. What's your name, please?
I'm Bright calling from Kaiki, Abuja.
Welcome, Bright.
So, my take on this state policing, I think some of us are getting it wrong in such a way that I will use an instance, for example. if a doctor, for instance, comes to tell us something about our health, we believe the doctor because the person is knowledgeable about that particular stuff. Now, the IGP is coming to advise us as well, and we are there trying to condemn that, oh, we shouldn't have said something like that or so. My point is, first of all, what are we really scared of in this state policing of a thing? If we want to look at it in different angle, like if we should bring this state policing to play now, will the problem we are facing in this federal policing, are we still going to face it? So some people are saying, oh, let the state government, and is it the same state government that we're not able to pay some workers in some states? Is it the same state government that we handle policing, or how are they going to fund those state policing? And apart from that, the idea of, you see a governor trying to control even the federal police to do their own bidding, not to talk of when it comes to state policing. So if the IG should say we are not mature for that, I think is correct to its own, to a very large extent, in such a way that we are supposed to be clamoring for how to prevent those irregularities in policing generally, not even clamoring for state policing. Like the idea of the corruption in it. Sometimes I wonder why we compare ourselves with America or those advanced countries when they have next to zero corruption in their country, and we that the corruption is here in our face, looking at us directly. We want to compare ourselves with them. It can't work now. So what we are supposed to be clamoring for is those laws that we guide those state governors from not misusing state policing. Instead of we trying to say, okay, let's test it first. Because anything that will make us to test it first, we can use this to a very large extent. And going back to default, it will be very difficult for us. Thank you.
All right, Bart. Thank you for sharing your thoughts right there. Now, the IGP is not the only one who has shared his concerns or reservations about this. Senator Ali Ndume has also, at some point spoken about this. And he said the president should empower the police to increase their manpower to 2 million men and the military to 500,000. He also said he won't vote for state police if it comes up in the constitution amendment process, adding that it will be abused by governors. So he's not the first, or the IGP is not the first person to raise this concern. The worry for some of them is that plans and laws should be put in place first, just so that there is no challenge that will be difficult to handle if it does come up eventually following the approval and implementation of the state police situation. But insecurity in Nigeria needs to be fought to the barest minimum. I mean, security is a huge concern. It affects the economy in very terrible ways that if we're to get into conversation right now, a lot of people have firsthand experience insecurity either directly or indirectly. So this is something that many believe if it is enforced, it will be able to change things for the better in the country. We'll go on a break shortly at 4 o'clock. It'll be time to get into Abuja today, and afterwards I'll be back to get more of your reactions and thoughts to the big stories for the day. But in case you missed the first hour, you can go onto our YouTube and Facebook pages right now at Nigeria Info Abuja to share your thoughts and also join the conversation.
New shows, new hosts, new realities, true conversations, trustworthy ideas, shared passionately on your number one talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. Let's talk.
Baby, my fine lady, the way you walk out, nobody walk out like you. And I'll cross all the 7 seas just to give you what you need, oh baby.
This is Nigeria Info.